Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is of course Sugi JRPG here, and it's been more than 2 years since I dropped out my last Final Fantasy VII Mod video. A lot of things have changed since then. There has been a lot of updates on the existing mods, and brand new amazing mods have also been released. So I decided to do a whole new updated video where we're going to be going through top 10 mods which I definitely think that are worth checking out. I also wrote a companion article where I'm going to be listing some extra entries which are not going to be mentioned in this video. And in case you do not own the classic Final Fantasy VII on Steam, it's currently being on sale on a lot of places, so in case you want to pick it out and support the channel at the same time, you can find links down below. But let's get started out with my top 10 list, which is not in any particular order. So at number 10 we have the Enhanced UI mod. This was created by Tsuna Mods, multiple people behind it, and this is actually an add-on mod to that. And what it essentially does is it's actually changing the menu system to be more reminiscent of what we have in Crisis Core. And I have to say, stylistically, this is the best UI mod you can go for. And I think overall it actually fits quite well to the overall style of Final Fantasy VII, especially if you're going to be bundling this up with other mods as well. And it does not just change the menus, but also when you actually hop into the combat, you're going to be having new menus there as well. And definitely in the combat, it kind of looks like this could have been from Rebirth and etc., but it definitely is a lot more closer to what we had in Crisis Core Reunion. So in case you're looking for a UI mod, this would be basically my top recommendation. At number 9, we have the Cosmos Limit Break mod created by Cosmos and other people, and this is an AI upscaling of the field background textures. So not the world map or not the battles, but everything else in terms of the cities, the towns, and the dungeons. And it really is giving and preserving this HD texture detail, and it looks absolutely amazing, especially if you're going to be using some character HD mods alongside with it. And I do know that there's other alternatives for this one, as many people have done their own versions of upscaling, but the thing that makes this one different from the rest, that it actually comes out with optional widescreen support. So just like Moguri mod does, it is basically extending the widescreen to actually feature a lot more stuff on the left and the right side of the screen. So basically, some of these locations have been spread out to extend the actual view to left and right, feeling less of that 4:3 aspect ratio. So this is one of the reasons why this one I would kind of prefer over some of the other upscaling mods out there. And then at number 8, we have the Nostyle chibi models, which actually went under update just recently. And Nostyle has done other variations as well. He did the HD models, which are a lot more closer to the designs that we have in the actual combat of the game. So in case you're going for a bit more of a realism look, that might be another great alternative for you. Then we also have Opera Omnia models, and these are going for a bit more on the Dissidia look instead. So that's another great alternative there you can go for if you want another set of chibi characters. But what I like about specifically about this chibi package is that it's being kind of faithful to the original designs, but adding a lot more texture, detail, and shading to these characters. This mod also comes along with actual HD textures for a lot of the models in the field, and that includes like the Highwind, the Bronco, and the other vehicles that you're going to be driving, so it's not just the field models for the characters. Then at number 7, we have another mod by Cosmos. This one is called Cosmos Gaia, and it's essentially a world map overhaul mod. It does a couple of very, very neat changes. First one being analog movement. This makes the ship control feel a lot more realistic, natural, and overall smoother, all things together. And then it adds also a custom camera control. So now you're basically able to zoom out very, very far, or even zoom in case you want to see those extreme details on the Highwind or some of the other machines that you're going to be flying and driving inside the game. And I have to say, these small camera controls just kind of like do a world of difference for me. It also does a couple of updates on the meshes and the textures inside the world map, and adds real-time lighting. And even though it seems like a very minor update, something about the world map just looks a lot more HD and better quality altogether with this mod on. And lastly, it also extends the view distance, so you can see much more farther into the horizon, which I guess is a bit more building up to that realism. It's a nice change also with all of these other things that are actually added on with this mod. Then at number 6, we have an actual FPS mod. This was created by Vertex2995 and other people, and it wouldn't really be on my mod list if we didn't actually add a 1 FPS mod in it. And this actually comes along with 2 different versions. So the normal version basically makes the battle, the field, and the world actually run at 60 FPS. But on the other version, it makes the battles go at 30 FPS instead, while the rest of it is going to be playing at 60 FPS. And this is actually not too bad, but based on my testings, which was all on 60 FPS, I felt the whole world map and also in combat felt pretty smooth and fluid on that 60 FPS, contrasted to my earlier testings on Final Fantasy IX, where I found it a bit more clunky in terms of the animations. But here, I felt the 60 FPS was working pretty fine. So whatever you're going to be going for, 60 FPS or 30 FPS, I think both of them are going to be working out pretty well. But if you're going to be obviously running with some other mods, with different types of models especially, there might be some compatibility issues, but obviously you can test it out and see how it goes. Then at number 5, we have an actual compilation mod, which is also known as the Satsuki Yachoshi mod, or SYW. And this is essentially one of those mods that comes along with a lot of features. So in case you don't want to go the hassle of downloading trillion mods and hoping that they all work together, this might be a good option for you. And it does a lot of different forms of HD upscaling in the game. That is the game's backgrounds, that is the magics and the abilities inside the battle. The battle backgrounds are also upscaled. The FMVs are upscaled and they also play in 30 FPS. There's multitude of different upscaling things that this mod basically does under a one hood. Also, another great part about it that it comes along with optional own mod manager. So in case you don't get the VII Heaven working for some reason on your computer, you can basically download the SYW Unified, which comes along with a lot of these mod options, and you can choose which ones to toggle. Do you want to use the 3D models in the in-game scenes, or 3D models in the battle, or do you want the HD upscaling on the mini games, additional textures, cutscenes on 30 FPS or lower FPS? There's different types of options that come along with their mod manager, but don't you worry, you can also run this on your 7th Heaven mod manager. But this is essentially one of the great options also out there for people who are trying to get the HD experience. Then at number 4, we have the Echo S7 voice mod, which I did feature on my last list, and I kind of let it speak for itself now.
Don't attack when its tail is up!
Oh, I get it.
Tifa, you're in there too?
We have to hurry!
Alright.
Where to? Better be the hell out of here.
Let's mosey.
Ed, are you sure about this?
Cloud! Your face! It's pitch black.
Sit your ass in the chair and drink your goddamn tea!
What the fuck, Cloud? Ugh, screw this! Move! I got this!
You ain't got shit on Reno and the Turks. Don't take it personal, bitches.
Tifa! Go!
No! No!
Tifa, no!
Hojo called me Red 13.
Let's tell each other how we feel, okay?
Then at number 3, we have another great mod by Tsunamods known as the Cosmo Memory mod, and this is basically doing audio enhancements into the game, adding ambient music, and doing a lot of rework on the sounds on the game. And then at number 2, we have probably the most drastic mod on this list, created by Berserker96. This one is called the Gaia 7 Remaster. And it's essentially a 3D visual overhaul of all characters, enemies, bosses, summons, and minigames with alternative outfits. And it looks vastly different. It looks kind of like early Unreal Engine game from maybe from PS2 or maybe early 2000s PC, and it's very wildly looking, and it's not just the models that are basically being changed in the game. The menus are different, and a bit of the interface in the battles is also different, as there's also ability to basically rotate the camera during the battle, which is kind of crazy. So this makes the game look very, very different. Some of the animations might be bit bad and unprofessional looking. I don't know if those going to be updated at some point, but definitely like giving out a very drastic look into this game. The only thing that kind of stays out the same is pretty much the world map, which is very much looking like the classical one. There might be some tweaks on it, but it's mostly looking perhaps a bit more like the one that we have on Final Fantasy IX with these types of textures. But overall, like, this is pretty drastic difference in terms of its look, and there's a lot of adjusting things that you can basically use here within this mod as well. And then finally at number 1, we have a very special mod which probably warrants its own video at some point, known as the Final Fantasy VII Livestream Edition by Axel Firestorm. And the Final Fantasy VII Livestream Edition is an expansive gameplay and graphics mod which comes along with a lot of new features, including enhanced UI, total script revisions, new and expanded scenes in the game, name changes, new materia, new items, new missions, and even new side quests. And best of it all, you have fully playable Jessie as a character who has now an expanded story in the game alongside with Biggs and Wedge. There's new songs also added in and a lot more. And this is still in the making, and they're doing updates on it. It's not like fully playable from start to finish, so it might take a couple of years until this mod is fully complete. But in terms of the scale, this is probably the biggest mod being made in Final Fantasy VII right now, and it's totally crazy. And as I said, we probably have to do a video on it exclusively some point in the future. Now that basically wraps up my top 10 list. In case I missed something, leave a comment down below for what mod is actually really worth trying out as well. And maybe we need to do also a guide on how to use the 7th Heaven mod manager in case people are having problems with it. Leave a comment below. Should we do an exclusive tutorial for that one? And as I did say earlier on this video, there's more mods that you can find on my list that I wrote at my companion article. But Final Fantasy VII is alive and well, and next time we're going to be addressing some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth mods in a top 5 or top 10 list. And make sure to subscribe for more JRPG content.